For more on panda diplomacy, we turn to Peter Lee. He's an associate professor of East Asian politics, animal policy, and law in China at the University of Houston downtown. Great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Well, Peter, we've known for a few months now that pandas were coming back to the U.S., to California again, and there was some concern this program was waning with the return of the D.C. pandas back to China back in November. So how important is this for diplomacy between China and the United States?
We have to understand that panda bears are an iconic animals, the so-called unofficial emblem of China. And although China's panda program or the exchange program is not without controversy, but there is no denial that pandas can play a role that no human diplomats can accomplish. And I say there are points of significance for pandas to coming back to the United States.
There is a rumor that there are some negotiations or some talks with bringing some pandas back to Washington, D.C. Currently, the only pandas in the United States are at the Atlanta Zoo, and they're scheduled to return to China already, I think, this year. Talk to us about California. Why California? Why was this state chosen?
We know that California is one of the the states with panda bears in San Diego. Now, from the perspective, we had to look at the issue from a more broadly political spectrum. From the perspective of a better relations between China and the United States, pandas coming back to the United States signifies relaxation of tensions between the two countries, and also from the perspective of San Diego Zoo and also National Zoo of Washington, D.C., possibly in the future that pandas go back there. This is a good way to, attract visitors, bring revenues to the zoos, and of course, a good use of the facilities built for the pandas. But most importantly, for millions of American young kids, pandas coming back to the United States is something that, heartwarming because, pandas are the, sweethearts of children across the world. So to the American kids.
Yeah, I always tell people that my daughter has not ever known life here in Washington, D.C. without a panda until just recently. We know that they bring excitement and happiness to everyone, no matter what age they are. But there is also an economic impact because they are a draw, especially a tourism draw to a particular area where they live. Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, but I would say that conservation of a panda does not really depend on the panda exchange program as it is happening again, right, back to the United States. The panda conservation has to really focus on protection of pandas, the natural habitats. And of course, we know that the panda breeding program has produced great results and contributed to the gifting program or the loaning program for pandas overseas. But in the final analysis, panda conservation really depends on the protection of pandas' natural habitats.
Yes, and that is the main goal. Professor Peter Lee, always great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us from Houston, Texas.
You.